Yes, student, come back again. And the subject before the last in our lecture today, which is called more than one non-assertive form. Yani, if you notice, maybe there is more than, or there are more than one non-assertive form in the sentence. Yes, if a clause contains a negative element, it is usually negative from that point onward. Okay, يعني if it contains negative elements, then he is not a teacher, so I will consider this sentence as what it is negative. This means that the non-assertive forms must normally be used in place of every assertive form that would have occurred in the corresponding positive clause. يعني in the sentence or in the positive sentences, every assertive form should be changed to be what? Non-assertive form. يعني I have met some students already. I have met some students already. In this sentence, you should change I have not met any students yet. وياي غيرت الهاف صارت have not. غيرنا some students صارت any students. غيرنا already صارت شنو؟ صارت yet. So each assertive form should be non-assertive form. I have never traveled anywhere by air yet. Never anywhere عندي yet. وياه هذول كلهم non-assertive form. Ever any either, they are all non-assertive form. Ever, anything, either, they are all non-assertive form. طبعا what يعني كأنه هذه ever كانت بأصل الجملة what assertive. Anything كانت something. For example, either كانت two or enough. Yes. The non-assertive forms even occur in positive subordinated clauses following a negative in the main clause. In positive subordinate, okay, following a negative in the main clause. Nobody has promised that any of you will be released yet. Nobody has a promise. طبعا هذه why it is subordinate, because I have that clause. You see, following the negative يعني هذا عندي negative. okay, هذه I have what following the negative form in the main clause. هذا main clause. okay, following, you see, هذه non-assertive form following the negative. That would deter anyone who had any courage. That wouldn't deter anyone who هذه الكلوز عندي who had any courage. هذه النيجاتيف بالمين كلوز، وهذه عندي non-assertive form. قلنا يتبع النيجاتيف فورم بالمين كلوز. وياي هذه non-assertive بالsubordinate clause تبعت لي شنو النيجاتيف فورم بالمين clause. Assertive forms, however, are equally likely in such cases, and more generally assertive forms do occur following a negative so long as they fall outside the scope of negation. Again, نرجع للscope will be discussed fully or in detail what next week by God's will. إذا عندنا بالعربية بنقول نفي النفي شنو؟ إثبات. Do we have such a case in English? Let us see. Occasionally, two negatives occur in the same clause. I cannot not obey means I have to obey. هذا عندي النفي إثبات. two negatives here صارت مثبتة. Not many people have nowhere to live. عندي not وعندي no. صار عندي most people have somewhere to live. يعني not many صارت must will somewhere nowhere becomes somewhere. No one has nothing to offer to society means everyone has something to offer to society. طبعا we have here I have two negatives نفي النفي إثبات. In substandard English there is an entirely different kind of multiple negation where more than one negative form is used, more than maybe two or three, but the meaning is that of a single negative. يعني okay I use more than one negative مثل هذه الحالة لكن يبقى عندي one single negative. No one never said nothing. عندي no عندي never عندي nothing 3 okay لكن the meaning is what no one ever said anything. Still I have one meaning. طبعا يعني هذه مو كل الحالات نفي النفي إثبات. Yes. The last item in this sentence or in this lecture اللي هو we have certain words in meaning they are what's negative. In shape, in form they are not. لما تسمع seldom تسمع rarely تسمع mostly scarcely little few هذول كلهم negative in meaning but not in appearance. عندي منو sorry just a minute please خلنا أرجعها. yes عندي seldom و rarely عندي scarcely hardly barely little and few طبعا in contrast in a little a few وعندي ال only. طبعا هذه الكاركترستكس راح نشرحها مال كل وحدة. They have the following similarities to ordinary negative item. راح نشبههم بالordinary negative item. What are in which concepts they are similar? They are followed by non-assertive rather than assertive forms. يعني إذا عندك هذولي you put non-assertive forms not assertive ones. I seldom get any sleep. إذا ما تقدر تقول get some sleep because seldom though it is in appearance it is positive but actually it is negative. So I seldom get any sleep not some sleep. I've spoken to hardly anyone ما تقدر تقول someone. Okay. Few changes in government have ever. Why not? Why here you cannot say some because you or every because you have few. Only two of us had any. Why you cannot say some because you have only. The first similarity between them إنه if you have these expressions you have to put non-assertive forms. Again, when in a pre-subject position some of them can kill subject operator اللي قبل شوية اشتغلناهم concerning never. We are إذا عندك if they are put at the beginning of the sentence in the initial position you should have some sort of inversion between subject and verb. Rarely does crime pay so well as Mr. Jones seems to think. Okay. هي أصل الجملة كانت by the way crime does or crime pays rarely as well. يعني من خليناها at the beginning the initial position راح نحول or نخلي operator قبل ال subject. Scarcely ever has the British nation. هنا هذه scarcely ever هذه كلها ال expression. بعدين the operator followed by the subject. Little need I dwell. Need I هنا طبعا if you remember in the third year you have هذه marginal verbs مو ال need وال ought to. هذه need وحدة can be just like a modal verb. A modal verb. So need here just like an operator need. وهذا main verb. هذا ال operator as a modal verb marginal then followed by what's the subject then the main verb. The inversion as before is literary or rhetorical in tone. The third similarity they are followed by positive rather than negative tag question. إذا تذكرون إحنا بالتاج question يعني نقول he is a teacher isn't he. Okay يعني ال positive followed by negative وال negative followed by positive. Since they are positive so they should be since they are negative so they should be followed by positive tag question. تشوفون she scarcely seems to care. هذه الجملة negative. Why? Because I have this expression. This expression that وهذا الدليل ثاني. This is another evidence for that it is followed by positive tag question. In addition, there are verbs, adjectives, or a preposition with negative meaning that take non-assertive forms. He denies هذا verb with negative meaning وخليت وياه ever. Without any delay, this is a preposition with negative meaning put with any no some. I forgot, this is a verb with negative meaning so I put any not some. Against, this is a preposition with negative meaning. Unaware, I put this morpheme, this negative morpheme, so I put any not some. Yes, I hope you get more benefit from my lecture. You can understand me, you can understand my explanation. I hope you are all well. Then I will provide you with 2 exercises concerning what we have just discussed in order to do more practice about our subjects.